everyone. Hey, it's Jen Arkfeld with Stamp Silly, and it's Monday. That means we're going to make a card in under 10 minutes. So let's get started. This one actually is going to come together fairly quickly because I have some of the elements already done. I have a basket of scraps of butterflies. Seriously, I have probably 100 butterflies that are already die cut, and I am always at a loss of what to do with them. So today I thought I would make just a fun, bright, cheery card. We're going to use a base of, oh, what is this called? We're going to use a base of, sorry, Tip Top Taupe. Wow. Okay. I don't use this very often, can you tell? I wanted to call it crumb cake or Sahara sand, but no, it's Tip Top Taupe. Okay, so we're going to use this. It's a top folding note card, which means it measures 4 1/4 by 11, and then it's scored at the 5.5 inch mark. So we have that, and I also have some scraps of these from another project. So this is a piece of pattern paper. It comes from the Pretty Petals pack, which has some great florals in it. They're a little bright, and I'm going to say chipper. There's my word for the day. I don't know why I'm drawn to this blue, which I believe is Pacific Point. It is, and I'm not typically drawn to it, but I love it paired with the Old Olive. Yes, Old Olive, and I just think it makes a fun pattern. So there's some other good patterns in here. Some of these are a little wilder. This one's too wild for me, but hopefully I like the backside. Backside's pretty easy to use. Anyway, so I had this from another project, and one other thought I have is because this oval was already die cut out of here, wouldn't this be kind of a fun little Easter egg if you were to use this as an Easter egg on a card, just because it's already got some fun pattern to it? I don't know, whatever. You can if you want. I'm going to use a scrap of basic black cardstock. This, you know what, isn't going to matter. You're not going to see it except through the hole of the oval. So what I'm going to do here is adhere that down. And as long as you get it pretty well centered on your card so that so that this oval goes through there, I'm going to adhere this piece down. It's basically a framed piece, or is creating a frame. Okay, so that's going to go right here. Now I'm going to set this butterfly here, and I think that butterfly really stands out, pops. Because of the color contrast, it just pops. So I'm going to use some mint macaron and some leaves. I'm going to use my bird builder punch to create some leaf stems here. I don't even need the whole leaf or the whole branch. So I'm just going to punch a couple of these. I think 3 ought to do it, hopefully. If you guys can hear, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. It's very windy here in Iowa today. Like, oh shoot, like extremely windy. And being that I'm out on the craft porch, you can maybe possibly hear that. It's just the rattling of my old farmhouse. Okay, there we go. So don't mind it, it's just wind. It usually drives me batty, but I'm gonna just go with it. This is my first spring out in the craft porch, so I'm going to say I love it. Alright, now I'm going to adhere these little leaves. One thing I wish I would have done is not have stuck this pattern piece down, because then I could have trimmed these up a little bit, but I think I can get it just like that. And I'm going to adhere the leaves with my fine tip glue pen. I'm kind of at a loss for words on a Monday. Don't mind me, it's Monday. Alright, so there's that one. And I want these to kind of come down this way. I'm just marking that with my fingernail. Like I said, you could have not stuck your pattern piece down and it would have you would have been able to cut through the center or know better, but this seems to work. Alright, and I want this one to come out about that same way. That one I'm not even going to trim, I'm just going to stick it down. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'm only putting glue on the stem of those leaves, and that way the leaf portion kind of will stand up a little bit and give it a little dimension. Alright, now we're going to adhere our butterfly. Wow, this card is going to come together fast. And you know, it does help because I'm using leftover parts. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you need a quick card and if you keep your leftover bits and pieces, sometimes they really do come in handy. Okay, so there is that. Good with that. Now we need a sentiment. I am in need of, in my stash needs some get well soon cards. So I'm just going to use the stamp set A Dozen Thoughts, because this is about the only one I have that has, this says better get better. So we're going to use that. I'm going to stick that onto my block, and I'm going to stamp it with our archival basic black ink. I like this ink the best when I am using fine detailed images, because it is just really super crisp. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that there, and you just sometimes when you stamp with a dark ink or with a black ink, and maybe it's just because I'm pressing too hard, but it seems like some of the letters squish out, and that drives me just a little bit batty, but that's just me. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this out. I'm not going to be terribly picky here. And I'm going to, instead of a flag, I'm just going to clip that at an angle. I am going to straighten this up just a little bit. I see I'm a little bit crooked. So yes, I am going to be picky. Never mind. Alright, that I'm going to adhere right there with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I think because I've got that pretty thin, I'm just going to use the edge of my Stampin' Dimensionals. One of my favorite things about our dimensionals is there is no waste at all. You can use every little last bit and creamy, and I seriously do. Okay, so that I'm going to stick on there, and I feel like we need a couple more pops of color. It just seems like it's okay, but it just needs some bright color. So you know what, I have on my desk the It's My Party enamel dots. I'm going to use those yellows. I could incorporate those mint macarons, but I think the yellows will pop a little bit more. So I'm just going to use my scissors and adhere some of those on here. I think that's what it needs, is that bright, bright color. I hope so. What do you guys think? I think that is definitely what we need. I typically go in odd numbers when I use things like this, enamel dots or sequins or anything of that nature. Odd numbers is always good. Okay, well there we have it. I did it in under 10 minutes. I hope you guys like this week's card. Couple things. Be sure you're following me over on Instagram. I've been posting a lot more over there than anywhere else, so it's easier for me to snap a picture and throw it up over there. So follow me on Instagram, same handle, it's Stamped Silly, and otherwise find me on Facebook, of course on my blog. I'll have links to all the products I used on my blog and down in the YouTube description, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, thanks everyone, see you later.